got some news involving LA Clippers Patrick Beverley. He has been suspended one game for shoving Chris Paul in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. Honestly, we kind of expected this to happen, Mario. The suspension will be without pay and it will serve during the very first game of the 2021-2022 regular season game. And after that, he's eligible to play. He was ejected in Game 6 after he shoved Chris Paul, and he actually tweeted about this. He actually apologized to Chris Paul on Twitter. He said in that quote at CP3, which is his which is his Twitter, excuse me. I'm pretty sure it's his Instagram as well. But anyway, he said emotions got the best of me last night, gang. My bad, wasn't meant for you. Congrats on making it to the finals. Best of luck. Um, yeah, Mara. So he did apologize, and I do respect that. So I'll pass on to you before I do this article. It was written by ESPN. So your thoughts on Patrick Beverley's suspension?
Look, I said this a million times, okay? Patrick Beverley, I do like him as a player. I like how ambitious he is on defense. I like how he never gives up that last inch. This is where I question, okay? Despite how I like Patrick Beverley, this is what I question. Who was it meant for? Who was it meant for you to shove? Like, seriously, because I don't think first of all, Chris Paul is the smallest guy and shortest guy in that team, I believe. If not, probably like second shortest. So who was that meant for? You know, who like you answer this for me, Nate. Like I have no clue who was this meant for? Cliff Paul from Allstate? Like who? Like I don't understand exactly who he meant to shove. Overall, Nate, he's getting a game suspension. He's getting a game suspension for the shove. So overall, Nate, I'm not again. The suspension has been made. It's as simple as that. Some people could say like the suspension is not even needed, but they're gonna do something. It's a game suspension for next season, so it's not that big of a deal. But overall, Nate, I after that game when he lost, I just think that was poor sportsmanship. I just think it was. I think he should have just again, if you didn't want to shake their hand, fine, but I think he should have just kept it walking. There was no need to shove no one. It's as simple as that. But you know what, Patrick Beverley, he's got that like dog mentality. Like I gotta, because he's always thinks like I gotta stand up for myself. I gotta stick up for myself, which you should in the NBA. It's a big man's game. Whenever you're kind of shorter than the actual big man, you gotta have something to stick up for yourself. But overall, this was not the time to do it. It's just as simple as this. The Phoenix Suns ended up kicking your ass. I hate to say it that way, but that's what happened. They ended up beating you. Walk off. Simple as that. There was no need to shove anybody. But overall, Nate, it's a game suspension. I don't really think it needs to be that huge of a suspension. It's not like nobody got hurt. It was just a shove. Was it unsportsmanlike? Absolutely. So I think a game suspension is pretty fair for this, to be honest with you. But overall, I just don't know who you meant to shove. Simple as that. Like I don't understand who that was for, but overall, regardless of who it was for, it shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened. So overall, Nate, to the LA Clippers, best of luck to you guys next season. Same thing to the Phoenix Suns. Best of luck to you guys in the NBA Finals. And yeah, Nate, I'll pass on to you.
Yeah, whether it was meant for someone or not in particular, it really was unnecessary. Like you said, it was poor sportsmanship. You're absolutely right, it was. And I am glad that he reached out and apologized on Twitter. Sometimes people just be like, if I did it, then I meant it, type thing. But at least he apologized. But yeah, it does bring up the question, who was it meant for? But at the end of the day, what you did was unnecessary and it was just uncalled for. But so I do think the one game, like you said, I do agree. The one game suspension is pretty fair. So regardless of that, Mario, um, again, he apologized. He got ejected during that game, so it was in the fourth. It was during a timeout in the fourth quarter, so he did get ejected for that. But overall, Mario, I look at it and it is a pretty fair suspension. It's without pay, so I don't think he's going to be paid for that game. Um, it's going to be during the first game of the next regular season. So with that being said, to the Phoenix Suns, best of luck to you guys in the NBA Finals. Again, we talked about that a little bit. And to the LA Clippers and Patrick Beverley, I wish you guys the best of luck in the offseason, and we'll see where this goes from here.